Alright guys, welcome back to another video here with Passion for FMTV. In today's video we're going to give you a top 10 list of the best sugar daddy clubs in Football Manager 2016. There's going to be 3 videos in this series. We're going to have 3 different kind of categories in the sugar daddy clubs. We're going to have the clubs that have a foreground chairman. Sugar daddy, obviously they're called it as that, but yeah, you've got 3 different types. You've got a foreground chairman, you've got a background chairman, and then you've got an underwriter chairman. So we're going to have 3 different videos in this series, and it's going to list you the top 10 teams in each category there, with the 3 different types of chairman. So in today's video it's the foreground chairman we're going to go over. So I'll just give you a rundown of what a foreground chairman is like and what they do, and what you can expect from them in your save if you do decide to pick one of these teams in FM16. So if we just have a look here in the little write-up I've done here explaining a foreground chairman. So the foreground chairman will constantly support your club with fresh money, and the foreground chairman will perhaps interfere with the club's running and may demand that you buy a specific player, or you may experience that he does it for you. The foreground chairman will be more involved in the daily running of the club, and all the money can help that he puts into the club obviously can help you improve both stadium and training facilities and make the club the best in the world if the correct players are bought. So to put it basically for you, a foreground chairman is someone that wants to be involved more with the club and also throws a lot of money at the club as well, without hesitation basically, but he might ask you to do specific things or be involved in purchasing certain players, sort of like I suppose Roman Abramovich when he took over with Chelsea, and the way they were back at the beginning, throwing money kind of at the team to improve it and stuff. So that's kind of the explanation for a foreground chairman. So if we just have a look at the top 10 teams here, we're going to go from number 10 down to number 1. Obviously number 1 is going to be the best, but I based each one of these videos, I based the teams on it on their balance. So the number 1 team is going to have the highest balance, and number 10 is going to have the least out of the 10. So if we get into it here, I'll give you a look at the number 10 team. Alright, so in at number 10 we have Al-Ain. They are from Qatar. They play in the Qatari Stars League. They've got a balance of 10 million. They've got a remaining transfer budget of 1 million. And they've got a remaining wage budget when you start to save with them of 100k. So that's Al-Ain. From Qatar, obviously. I've never managed any teams in Qatar or in the Qatari Stars League. I would like to venture into a few different leagues, maybe in FM16 or going forward in the future, to be honest. So I'm not sure what it's like to manage in them types of leagues, but it'd be very interesting as well. Yeah, that's number 10. Alright, in at number 9 we have Guangzhou. I hope I pronounced that correct. But Guangzhou are from China. They play in the Chinese National First Division. They've got a balance also of 10 million. They've got a transfer budget when you start a save with them of 3.1 million. And the remaining wage budget they have is 2.5 million. So that's pretty healthy there, if you did decide to choose this team to play a save with them. Their remaining wage budget is 2.5 million. So that would allow you to bring in players, maybe older type players that have a big wage, maybe former stars, or well, stars that are getting on in age and stuff like that, I suppose. The transfer budget is 3.1, so it's not that high, but I'm sure with a wage budget like that of 2.5 million you'd be able to bring in some fairly decent players. A lot of Chinese, there's quite a few Chinese clubs and stuff like that, Asian clubs that are chairman are investing a lot of money into them lately, and China I suppose is one of those places. Yeah, so that's number 9, Guangzhou. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that name correctly, guys. So let's move on to the next one. Alright, in at number 8 we have Al-Ain. I've heard of Al-Ain before. I think someone done a save on YouTube with them. Might have been Jack from Work to Space. I think he done one with Al-Ain. He might have done one in the past. Could have possibly been last season. I remember watching a lot of the videos from it. So shout out to him, well done on that. So that's about the only time I've ever seen Al-Ain. I didn't even know they existed until that them videos that I watched. So yeah, so if you have a look here Al-Ain are from the UAE. They play in the UAE Professional League. They've got a balance of 11 million, so slightly higher than the last two teams. They've got a transfer budget of 4 million, and they've got a remaining wage budget of 200k. So, pretty interesting team. As far as I know, Al-Ain have some okay players already. They've got a 200k wage budget, which is smaller than the last two teams, considerably smaller actually. So not as much money floating around there, I suppose, as number 9, number 10 teams there, but still would be an interesting team. Again, I've never managed in the UAE or the UAE Professional League. Asia is somewhere that I've never really managed any teams in Football Manager, but interesting save for anyone that's looking for a sugar daddy club that has plenty of money with a chairman that'll throw money at them. So yeah, that's number 8, guys. Right, in at number 7, we've got Lekhwiya. They're from Qatar. They're playing the Qatari All-Stars as well. Balance of 11 million. Transfer budget of 5 million. And wage budget of 210k. So similar to the last team. Not sure what kind of players they have at the moment. Again, the Qatari League is something I've never played in before. Might be an interesting save for anyone that's interested in managing with a sugar daddy club. Chairman will throw loads of money at him because he's a foreground chairman, so he's going to have plenty of money to splash. So that would be an interesting league to definitely manage in as well, guys. So check out some of these teams yourselves. You might be interested in some of them. Again, I just want to mention that all these teams in the top 10 in each of the 3 videos I'm going to be doing, they're based on the highest balance. So the number 1 team's going to have the highest balance, and the number 10 team's going to have the least out of the group. So that's it. So that's Lekhwiya, and they come in at number 7. Alright, in at number 6 is maybe a more familiar team that people might know. They play in the MLS. It's Toronto FC. Obviously the nation is the USA. Division, as I said, is a Major League Soccer, MLS for short. They've got a balance of 23 million, which is almost double of what the other teams have had. They've got a transfer budget of only 33,000, which is slightly weird, but that's what they have, as I've checked it out on everything in the editor and stuff. So that's what they've got, a 33,000 transfer budget. They've got a remaining wage budget of only 5k, so that's a little bit interesting there, I suppose. Might be a team that the foreman will definitely throw money at, considering he would be a foreground chairman. So that's Toronto FC, guys, in the MLS. Another league I've never managed in before. I've heard a lot about it, if you can get your head around the draft system and stuff like that, I think. From what I've heard, it's a pretty interesting league to manage in. And Toronto FC are be a pretty good team to start off in, guys, so check them out if you're interested in managing a sugar daddy club. Alright, so in at number 5 we have a well-known club, Paris Saint-Germain. I'm presuming everybody knows who Paris Saint-Germain are. They're a well-known club. They're from France. They play in the French Ligue 1. They've got a balance of 28 million. They've got a transfer budget of 32 million, and they've got a remaining wage budget of 2 million. So Paris Saint-Germain, as everyone probably already knows, have already got a very, very, very good squad. A lot of well-known players, a lot of world-class players. So it might not need strengthening that much. But obviously with a foreground sugar daddy chairman, the money will be put into the club, and funds will be constantly available to bring in more world-class players, I presume, into that squad. So I'd say asking the board for extra transfer funds wouldn't be a problem with Paris Saint-Germain, to strengthen in some of the areas that need strengthening. So yeah, that's number 5, guys, with Paris Saint-Germain. Alright, next up in at number 4 we have another French club, AS Monaco. They play in the French Ligue 1 also. They've got a balance of 30 million. They've got a transfer budget of 17.8 million, and they've got a remaining wage budget of 720,000. So a little bit wage budget and transfer budget are a little bit less than Paris Saint-Germain. But again, another well-known club, not as good as Paris Saint-Germain, obviously here, but still have some very decent players as well. Might need strengthening in some areas to compete with the big clubs in Europe and in the Champions League and stuff like that. But again, you're going to have a chairman that'll pump money into the club left, right and centre in order for you to improve all facilities to their best and bring in the best players that you can, so you'll have money available there again with a foreground chairman. So yeah, that's number 4, and that's AS Monaco. Alright, In at number 3, we have an English team, Manchester City. Yeah, everyone knows who Manchester City are, guys. They play in the English Premier Division. They've got a balance of 42 million. They've got a transfer budget of 0, as I believe they have some sort of financial fair play regulation in play when you start with them in Football Manager 2016. So they've got a 0 transfer budget. I checked that out myself. I started a save with them, and that's what they have when you start a save. They've got a 0 transfer budget. So they've got a remaining wage budget of 300k. So, not sure how that'll work out for you in the first season, but again, Man City have a very, very, very good team. The likes of Aguero and David Silva and the rest. So they've got a very good team to work with there. Might need strengthening in 1 or 2 areas. But I'm sure, again, there'll be plenty of money pumped into the club again. Maybe not so much in the first season, I'm not sure, as I haven't played through with them in a season. So still, again, with a Foreground Chairman, you're going to have money pumped into the club again eventually to do what needs be with Manchester City, and improve results in Europe, in the Champions League, and try win more titles with Man City. So yeah, that's number 3, and that's Manchester City. Alright, we're down to the final 2, and in at number 2 we've got LA Galaxy. They're from the USA. I'm sure everyone knows who LA Galaxy are as well. David Beckham used to play for them, and I believe Steven Gerrard plays for them now, and Robbie Keane, I think, from Ireland also. So yeah, they play in the Major League Soccer in the MLS in the USA. They've got a balance of 53 million, transfer budget, which is a little bit weird here, of 83,000, and a remaining wage budget of 3,846. So fractionally weird there. I'm sure I haven't started the save or played the save with LA Galaxy, so not sure how that works out, but I'm sure, again, with a balance of 53 million and a Foreground Chairman, that money is not going to be an issue there for players, and a wage budget as well. So I presume the board will inject a lot of cash in there in order to build up the team. Again, with some of the older players that they seem to sign, the wage budgets are going to be pretty high, like the likes of Steven Gerrard, and that I presume they're going to have massive wage budgets, or wage per week. So yeah, you just have to take it as it comes, guys, and see what way it works out with that. But another big team with a big balance, LA Galaxy. Again, MLS soccer is improving greatly. Might be an interesting league to start a save in. I haven't actually done a save in the MLS before, so maybe this year I'll get to do it. But yeah, that's number 2, and that's LA Galaxy, guys. Alright, down to the final one. In at number 1 in the Foreground Sugar Daddy top 10 here of clubs in Football Manager 2016. We've got Guangzhou. Hopefully I pronounced that right. I probably didn't, but yeah, a lot of people probably know who Guangzhou are. They're from China. They play in the Chinese Super League. They've got a massive balance of 72 million. They've got a transfer budget of 516,000, which is not a lot there. They've got a wage budget of 3 million. So again, probably the kind of team that bring in former superstar players, like, and could be wrong. I think Robinho, the Brazilian, might have played for these before in the past. Don't quote me on that. I might be wrong, but I think. So with a 3 million wage budget, I'm sure you'll be able to bring in some really, really good players. Again, Foreground Chairman, so you're going to have money injected into the club left, right and centre. So transfer budget and wage budget should not be a problem. So yeah, that's number 1. That's Guangzhou. Check them out, guys, yourselves if you're interested in managing in the Chinese Super League. Again, that's not a league I've ever managed in, so not sure how that whole system works out. Would be an interesting league to manage in, I'm sure. And yeah, that's Guangzhou, number 1. Again, all these teams started from 10 down to 1, going by their balance. So Guangzhou would have the highest balance of all the 10 teams. So that's how I'll be sorting them out. Yeah, so that's it, guys. That's the first video on this little series of Sugar Daddy clubs. That's the Foreground example, top 10 there. So yeah, keep an eye out, guys, for the other 2 videos coming out, which are the top 10 with a background chairman, and also the top 10 with an underwriter chairman in them. So yeah, they'll be coming out pretty soon as well, guys. Again, if you like the video, guys, hit that like button. If you want to see more videos coming out in the future from Passion for FM TV with Football Manager 2016, just hit that subscribe button, guys, and you'll be kept up to date, and it'd be much appreciated. Helps the channel out. And until next time, guys, thanks for watching.